opportunity here. Strike across goal. Must be. It's turned in.
Tiro Lázaro. Matias Palacios with a shot and it's in for Alain.
Turned into the back post. Brilliant header. Got in. An unbelievable finish, and as we mentioned before, Ross, well over the header.
Hello everyone and welcome to Final Score, your guide to the UAE football scene. And this week we look back on match week 2 of the brand new ADNOC Pro League season. We have 7 games to pour through, no goalless draws, our first managerial change, and a bit of top division history was made as well. Of course, joining me in the studio to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, we have, of course, the legend of UAE football, Ibrahim Diaki, and the walking encyclopedia of the game in the UAE, Pedro Correa. Welcome, gentlemen, as always. Week 2 is a difficult one, isn't it? Because you build up so much over the summer to week 1, and there's all kinds of stories and there's all kinds of reactions. But then when we get into week 2, we're not really fully into the season, but everybody has already started to kind of relax into what may or may not be happening.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is we have already one managerial change.
Yeah.
Which happens quite a lot, and right from the start, as you said, there's already a new coach. It was Horfahan, Abdelmajid Al-Zaruni left, and coach Krezimir Rezic, a Croatian coach, is already in charge for the next round. There are some traditional candidates like Al-Wasl, Alain, Shabab Al Ahli, and Jazira, who achieved full marks, 6 points, but there's an unusual candidate in the mix named Ajman, which also have done the same in a very peculiar match. We'll go into that later. Congratulations, Mabruk, to United's first ever victory in the ADNOC Pro League. And aside from that is what I said, Ajman's victory for me, being 6 points into round 2. It's quite a good surprise, and I think it's a particular match to talk about.
Yeah, and United FC's win is that bit of history in the top division. Congratulations to them. We'll talk about it when we get to their game. But looking overall, Ibrahim, it's only 2 games gone. A lot of fans and a lot of supporters and critics will start to make judgments already about the teams, about who's going to win. But it's far too early to start make judgments like that, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, Graham. This is the ADNOC Pro League, so usually there is a lot of pressure on all the teams. So it was a great week, honestly, and I saw a couple of great actions, great goals. You know, I love goals, so it was a really interesting week. And as Pedro mentioned, a couple of teams, they showed the strength already from the beginning of the ADNOC Pro League. And a couple of teams are still struggling, but it's just the beginning. So there's still more games to go, and I think this season will be one of the best seasons.
Yeah. I'm sure we're going to talk about it as the show goes on. It's really for the bigger teams, the teams that have aspirations about lifting titles. If they aren't winning already, it's already a bit. That's probably the only concern moving forward. Let's look at the numbers then. Let's look at the stats. Pedro's favourite bit from the first couple of weeks in the Pro League. We've already had 55 goals. We're almost on 4 goals per game. Again, this week, no goalless draws at all. It's a fantastic return. No wonder the ADNOC Pro League just keeps growing and growing. 33 goals scored last week. We've got 22 to go through this time. 11 for home teams, 11 for away teams. It doesn't matter if you're home and away. The results can be totally unpredictable. 7 wins, no draws to talk about this week. And we do have some teams without a point. We'll talk about how important it is for those particular teams when we get to them. Wahda, you would say, is probably the most glaring one. United FC collected their first ever Pro League points with their first victory in the competition. The first time they've ever been up in the top division and they've already got off the mark with 3 points. Results then that we're going to go through. Al Wasl keep their perfect start going, 3-0 win away at Calba. Al Nasr, a narrow but good win at home to Al Wahda. The thriller of the week was in Ajman, where Ajman came out winners 4-3 against Hatta. Shabab Al Ahli, fairly comfortable 2-0 win against Al Dhafra. Al Ain, the reigning champions, again 2-0 win. That is where the first managerial casualty happened after that game at Corsican. United FC 3-2 winners on the road at Banias. And Al Jazira, who are spending some money as well, we'll talk about that before the transfer window closes. They got a win 2-0 away at Sharjah. This is the early table after a couple of weeks. Al Wasl and Shabab Al Ahli sit on top. Only by goal difference, with Al Ain, Al Jazira and Ajman all on 6 points. Al Nasr on 4, Sharjah on 3. And at the other end, United have those 3 points. Doesn't that make great reading for fans of that club? Calba on 1 and everybody else on no points after 2 games. Corsican, Dhafra, Hatta, Banias and Al Wahda. We will go through the ramifications of what it means for all of them. OK, but before we go into the nitty-gritty of each game, here's another quick reminder about what happened in match week 2. After the second week of games in the new ADNOC Pro League season, there are 5 teams who have the perfect record of 2 wins from 2 games. Al Wasl sit top of the table on goal difference after their 3-0 win away at Calba. Renato Jr., Jimenez and captain Ali Salah got the goals. Al Nasr remain unbeaten and followed their opening day draw with a 1-0 win at home against Al Wahda. Chris Bedia got the goal from the penalty spot in the 54th minute. Ajman made it 2 wins from 2 in a 7-goal thriller against Hatta. Walid Azaro got the winner 7 minutes into time added on. Last season's runners-up, Shabab Al Ahli, left it late to beat Al Dhafra. Gomez and Cesar got the goals in the second half to win 2-0. Champions Al Ain also won by 2-0. They were at home against Corsican. Soufiane Rahimi scored on 36 minutes before an own goal from Kamara made it 2. United FC got their first win in the top division in only their second match. Willy Samido scored twice as they beat Banias 3-2 on the road. And Al Jazira travelled to Sharjah and came away with 3 points. Vinicius Melo got both the goals, and Al Jazira are now the only club yet to concede this season. And that is where we're going to start with Al Jazira's win away at Sharjah. They haven't conceded a goal so far, Al Jazira, which is great news for them after 2 games, the only club to have done so. They're not at the top of the table because of goal difference, but they've 6 points out of 6 possible points. Your former club, of course, Ibrahim, you must be impressed with their performance so far. And we're going to get into this as well. They're spending money, they're strengthening their squad, and they look quite formidable already, don't they, after 2 weeks?
Yeah, definitely. Watching that game against Sharjah, it was a tough game for Jazira because Sharjah, from their performance of last week, they did good. They won 3-1. And I was a bit worried to see how they will react there in Sharjah field because it's not easy to play there. I've played there many times in that stadium. I can tell you, Graham, it's really difficult to beat Sharjah there. And great performance from Jazira. Tactically, they were like in a really good position. And I think, Cosmin, you can see that slightly, especially on the quick transition, Jazira is progressing a lot. And also on top of that, the ball possession, which I was surprised because if you see the statistic, Sharjah has 56.3% of ball possession and Jazira 43%, but they still won 2-0. So which means the consistency and the efficiency was there and they made the difference.
And Melo up front got both the goals. He's just started on fire, hasn't he, this season?
And Wilson also the 2 assists. First and mostly, he's playing in his original position. He's a central forward. He's not a striker, in my opinion. He's not a striker. He's a central forward, Vini Melo. So he can also play as a secondary striker, but mostly he's playing in the middle.
Yeah.
And once he's playing in the middle, not only is playing in his original position, but he's also, of course, closer to the goal, closer to the target. It was a very good performance by Jazira, more than beautiful football, and there were moments of beautiful football. It was clinical and controlled, typical Cosman. Jazira did exactly what they had to do in every moment of the match. Let me tell you on the other end, because it's easy to criticize a team when they lost, that not everything is bad with Sharjah. There's, of course, room for improvement, like even Jazira has room for improvement. But Sharjah played, in my opinion, in the overall a match that shows that they have the potential to be a title candidate this season in due time, and of course with improvements that they must do in the overall, but mostly defensively, I would say.
Let's just talk about Melo a bit more. Ibrahim, you know more than anybody else around this table what it takes to be a great striker at Al Jazira. What's he doing? What are you impressed with? His work rate, his skill, his ability, his foresight, his vision. He's got it all.
No, I like his style. It's the type of striker, as Pedro mentioned. He can come into the midfield, receive the ball, participate in the build-up, then run in front. He has great technique, and he's giving also a lot of volume to the Jazira offensive line. And he's a smart striker. He knows when to move and where to move at the right time. And he can feel also on this goal, you can see the way how he's running through. He saw the empty space, ran through, and then great header. And he's powerful also, and he can protect the ball. So he has so many qualities that are really helping Jazira. But in that game, I saw something, is that the team spirit changed. They're playing for each other, they're fighting for each other, and this is what we were waiting also from them. And of course, Ruben, also on the left flank, is giving a lot of, is being very active there. So tactically, Coach Cosmin normally, we all know, he's really good. So him taking over Jazira, I think was a great signing for Jazira. Definitely we see a lot of things for them. Even on the second goal also, you can see the 1-2 they did, then this is amazing.
Yeah.
Which means they play together and they understand each other.
So we're already seeing the Cosmin effect at Al Jazira, and not to mention as well, he's adding to the squad as well. Some big names arriving this week.
Yes, but for example, imagine things I've noticed from this match. Banza did not start.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know till what point it was strategical by Coach Cosmin, because Vini Melo has a different type of mobility, as we just saw in both goals he scored. In the both goals he scored, he's not there, and then he shows up. While if it was Banza is more that typical target man that stays mostly inside the box, fixed. Vini has mobility. And that removes the marking reference to the Sharjah's defense. Sharjah's defense that Coach Cosmin knows quite well, because he spent lots of years coaching Sharjah. That was one. Another one I would like to mention, because nobody speaks about when a player scores 2 goals, the other players collapse a little bit in terms, is Koulibaly.
Yes.
His work in the midfield was something out of this world. It was an amazing match for me as a midfielder, as a central midfielder. He was all over the place. He was stealing possession from Sharjah. He was sprinkling possession for Jazira. What a great performance he had there in the middle. And of course, with the coach's experience, removing the players that, even though were playing well, had, for example, a yellow card, removing them from the match, knowing it could go wrong. But this is why Jazira hired the Coach Cosmin Al Ahli.
You mentioned Koulibaly, because when El Neni left, because both were compatible in the midfield. So I was kind of thinking how we will react, how we will play, and how it will go. But Koulibaly definitely taking over and showing that he can put that balance in the midfield of Jazira.
And now they've added to their squad with Malcolm coming from Al Hilal, among a few other names as well. So we'll look out for that over the coming weeks, only strengthening the squad. It's no coincidence. It's a team coached by Cosmin, and they're the only team yet to concede a league goal so far. Let's move on then to the reigning champions, Al Ain, 2-0 win at home. This cost the job of the Corfa manager, our first casualty of the season. And for Al Ain, a really good start to the defence of their title. Again, this unbeaten, was this now 35 games, I think,
35.
unbeaten in the league, astonishing. And I think they're kind of quietly going about their business so far at the beginning of this season. Other clubs, like we're mentioning, are doing big transfers, having big wins, but Al Ain are just carrying on like they were last.
From that game, I understood something. Coach Ivic, he wants to keep that record. He doesn't want to lose the game, and at the same time, I think he's preparing Al Ain for the big stage, the Asian elite. So if you see the performances that they do, they're all fighting, and tactically, you can see that a lot of improvement defensively. Pedro, you remember we were always talking about that some mistakes has to be fixed. But when I'm seeing the line that I'm seeing now, they're well organized, they fight together, the team spirit is there too. So I think Coach Ivic he doesn't want to stop only at the ADNOC Pro League. He's looking at the Asian elite. So probably he give that pep talk to the players to fight more, to be more organized, and to win the game. It was not an easy game for them because Corfa started well. But of course, the experience and, as I say, the resilience and assertiveness of Al Ain give the result to them.
Another goal from Soufiane Rahimi, and then it goes down as a Kamara own goal, but it's really a Palacios shot that deflected off him, and he had no real knowledge about it.
I was there for commentary, and actually in the beginning I considered it to be Palacios' goal because the shot was from Palacios, deflected on Kamara, but anyway, that's not the most important thing now. For me, for Palacios probably is. For me, no. Palacios did also a very good match. Mostly a professional win for Al Ain. I totally agree with what Ibrahim is saying. A little bit of managing the operations there. Patience build up, even though Horfakan started with a couple of situations where they broke on the counter and could have scared Al Ain. Al Ain did not get scared. They managed the game, patience build up, and then whenever they had the good chances, they went up for a 2-0 comfortable win. Eventually, bad news. Giacomakis was not in the match. I don't know the reason, but mostly Hussein Rahimi left the match injured close to the halftime. I don't know also what kind of injury he has. Apparently, it's something muscular. He did not took any knock that we have seen during the broadcast, but that might be of some concern. They still have the new signing, Babailu, as to play as a striker. Eventually, they can come up with different solutions. But that is, for me, the worst part of the game on the Al Ain side. On the Horfagan side, to say that, of course, a managerial change so early is never something that we like to see, early or late, but early especially. Horfakan was not lucky with the schedule, and no one to blame about that. It's just pure hard luck. They played with Shabab Al Ahli in the first round, and now they faced Al Ain, this Al Ain, in the second round. Plus, they were missing Tarek Tissoudali. Plus, they were missing Salim Amala, Rafael Pereira, among one or two other players.
A bit harsh, isn't it? Yeah.
Complicated for them. They did the best they could, but against this Al Ain, it's short.
I always say that when a new coach comes into the team, it's always difficult. It takes some time, the time to build up again, bring new tactics, and I think Corfoca need to find that stability around that area, because changing the coach, because actually Coach Kirke, the one who was previous coach, he was not doing that well. He was okay. He was doing well. So now bringing a new coach, new tactic, and then now this one got sacked now. The new one will come again with new ideas. Usually it takes time to prepare the team well.
We're talking about the tactics. We're just, before we move on, I want to have a couple of examples of how Al Ain are breaking down teams and how they've done it and haven't been beaten for 35 league games. It's a lot of passing. They're very confident around the back. And you said, use the word patience there. It's exactly, they don't panic around the back. Here's a great example of it. And they're steadily making their way up the pitch. But every pass is accurate. Every pass is not a risky one so much. But they soon find themselves down the other end of the pitch.
Now, what they do a lot, for example, one of the strategies that they do a lot, they use a lot the flanks to progress. And what they do, they try to attract the opponent's defensive block to the right side, for example, and then as soon as possible they try to switch across to the left, where they have, because they have both full wing backs, both very open, both hugging the lines on the right and on the left. So this is a type of strategy that they use a lot during build-up, because usually the opponent defends in a low and compact block. And for example, if Alain has the ball on the right side, they shift the defensive block to that side, and Alain tries to quickly switch across as soon as possible to the left, where eventually the full back there has some space to drive forward, and this is how many times they progress and they execute the fast attacking transitions. If not, they just keep knocking the ball around patiently until there's a lack of focus of one or two players in the opponent's block, and they then squeeze them in.
Sorry, we've got to move on. Good win for Alain then. Defence of their title, remember. Let's move on then to Al Wasl, 3-0 away at Calba. Al Wasl are officially top of the table with their goal difference. Renato Junior, 2 in 2 games. Jimenez and Ali Salah, 2 in 2 games as well for the Al Wasl captain away at Calba. And they are top of the league. It is very early, obviously, but just psychologically, to see your name at the top of the league this early is massive, isn't it?
The 2 performances I saw from Al Wasl, I can say, Pedro, they're on fire. 2 great results, and you can see from the build-up, the way they do the ball possession is really something remarkable. And you can see that their coach Rui Victoria is putting his impact into the team, and I see the tactical discipline is well done. They defend together, and the quick transition, because Al Wasl last season had a couple of problems with that one, and when they were losing the ball, the quick transition was a bit slow. But now, what I'm seeing, every single player are fighting in their positions, and they're doing well, and hopefully they can continue like this.
And for Calba, the other side of it, though, I mean, you are facing Al Wasl, who are incredibly fast and have a great attack. But defensively, I think for Calba, there are some problems. Is it communication problems that they're not quite, especially defensively, that line at the back?
Yes, I agree with you defensively, but I would say the whole team and not just the defensive line. They are also having some problems with injuries, and the squad is not fully available yet. So we must say that. They faced a very good team offensively, Al Wasl. But more than defensively, I think Calba needs to be worried even more with the offense. I feel this Calba very short in the offense. I feel like they don't have that typical striker that the teams have in the Adnoc Pro League. Chris Bedia for Al Nasr, Renato Junior for Al Wasl. Now Mehdi Taremi is coming in. Vini Melo or Banza for Jazira, Sardar Azmoun.
But they had a great performance against Al Nasr.
They had, but mostly in transitions, Diaki. The problem is here. It seems like they have a good plan B, plan A, but they don't have apparently a plan B. So imagine if the team has an early lead and can sit in the back and wait for the opponent, okay, that plan is somehow sorted. Yeah. But imagine now with Al Wasl, minute 22, they were 2-0 down, and they did not progress much in terms of offensive play. They kept going apparently with the same plan of waiting, but 2-0 down, minute 22, now you need to attack. You cannot keep waiting anymore, I say. So I think, but I think it's also, they need more players. And mostly a striker because I feel Calba a little bit short on the offense, honestly.
Okay, so Calba do have some points, though. They got a win on week 1, but a loss this week. Al Wasl second win in a row. But unlike Calba, Banias still haven't got any points yet. 2 games, 2 defeats, and they were part of history. History that they probably didn't want to make, really. United FC, such a new side just for UAE football, let alone the top division, got their first ever win in the top flight. Andrea Pirlo's side, of course. And they were 3-0 up. So the 3-2 final scoreline shows that Banias did come back. That's some positive for them. But for United, you know, they wanted to get their first win of the season out of the way, and to do it already on the road in fine style, it's great. It's a great story.
I think, I believe Pirlo used the previous game videos to try to indicate exactly where the mistakes are, and I think that performance was completely different than the one against El Wasl. So they started very well, offensively and even defensively. The organization was great. And I think in that game, what made the difference is the fighting spirit and the way how they play together. Tactically, of course, you can see that Coach Pirlo, he did some touches there because you saw the player, they were more confident and they were trying to create a lot of chances. And the efficiency was there also. So a really good game from United.
And even though this is only their second game ever in the top division, they look very comfortable in the Adnoc Pro League, don't they?
But even in the match against Al Wasl last round, the first half, up until minute, I would say 60 or something, they were not bad also. So some of the signs they confirmed this time with Banias, they were already there against Al Wasl despite the heavy defeat in the end. I think an organized team, a team that has a clear idea in terms of their game plan about what to do and when to do. Of course, there's a huge room for improvement. I would say even more defensively than offensively, because offensively, if they have the space, they are the dangerous side. Defensively, they still have, I think, a bit to work on. To say about Banias that also they were missing some players, that does not justify at all. But mostly, I felt like Banias was surprised. Well, I caught. Didn't you feel the same? Like they were surprised suddenly, because the way United built the 3-0 advantage was very solid. Was not something out of nothing. It was very solid, and Banias was a little bit surprised. Then in the end, they showed their fighting spirit. I also think Banias needs some reinforcements, mostly in the midfield region. I feel like they need more depth there. Let's see what the upcoming weeks will bring, but mostly congratulations to United.
Interesting what you say there about Banias and reinforcements. I think you're going to say a similar thing about our next match. Al Nasr 1, Al Wahda 0. This was our match of the week. A very good performance again from Al Nasr. They had a couple of penalty calls that, you know, VAR ruled a few out, so they could have had a few more goals here, Al Nasr. But I think a lot of the attention is on Al Wahda, who've lost both of their opening games in the league season for the first time in the club's long history. And reinforcements, that's going to be the word at Al Wahda. But let's give Al Nasr first the credit they deserve. They played a really good game. They've also got essentially a very new squad, haven't they? And they seem to be bonding already early in the season.
Yeah, they came into this game with a lot of confidence. And we all know that Al Nasr has a great ball possession for many years. And I think in that game, I mentioned it before the game, that the team that will have the highest ball possession will be able to control the game. And that's what they did. Coach Milos, he knows very well the strength and the weakness of Al Wahda, and he did a great job there. Tactically, defensively also they were on point. And also the quick transition. When they were losing the ball, directly, automatically they come back in position to stay in block, to make sure that Al Wahda cannot infiltrate or break through. And they did it very well. And that made it very difficult for Al Wahda.
OK, let's move on then. Al Wahda, no points from 2 games so far. The big thriller was in Ajman, a 4-3 win for Ajman at home against Hatta. Terrific stuff from them. 2 wins out of 2 for Ajman. What a great start to their new season as well. Hatta, obviously, the other newly promoted side, along with United FC. They're still waiting to get some points, but this was a great game, so entertaining, and a 97th minute winner from Walid Azaro.
Welcome back, Walid Azaro, because he was absent in the first round. This is the typical match to promote the ADNOC Pro League, because this is a lot of what the ADNOC Pro League can offer, these types of matches, where you don't know what's going to happen. Very competitive. Both sides wanted clearly to win. Very chaotic match. Nobody was in control. It was coming and going and coming every time. Hatta made the 3 goals out of set pieces. I'm not just mentioning that Ajman needs to improve defensively because of that, but also because of that, Ajman needs to improve a lot defensively, and they can do much better. They must do much better, I would say. Firas Ben Larbi now with Hatta is still a great player of our league, but mostly welcome back Walid Azaro, and he scored the winner for his side in what was a great promotion to the ADNOC Pro League.
And I feel like Ajman they have one of the most dangerous attack in ADNOC Pro League. We just see the name Ajman, but the football, the way how they're going out, Graham, I can tell you, it's not easy to play against them. Many times I've played in that stadium, and Ajman is the type of team always offensively, they're very aggressive. And they try to counter and then play with that quick and strength. It's really amazing. And I'm not surprised at all that they did already the first 2 wins, because they beat El Wahda last week in El Wahda.
Yeah.
So this may understand that this season, people need to be careful from Ajman.
And even though Ajman did get the 3 points, had it finished a draw and Walid Azaro's goal not happened in the 97th minute, that would have been fair?
Yes, I think so. It would have been fair also, because Hatta played a good match. Great fighting spirit, not going to Ajman just to try to get a draw, no, trying to get the best they could. But this Ajman side, they have not made many signings, just some adjustments. They kept the same coach. And of course, then but also a lot. The match was mostly open in the middle. The midfield was very open. The match was very broken almost since the start, and then of course that makes it easier for the goals to happen.
And we're seeing there the high press from Ajman. That was really paying dividends, but you've got to be fit, haven't you? You've got to have a lot of stamina to be able to do that, but Ajman seemed to be able to.
And the way how they're reducing the spaces, because you can see that when they put the pressure, all from the back, the central defenders, midfielders, they all follow, and to reduce the space as much as possible. And as I say, when they counter, they receive the ball, they go very fast. They're very explosive, and look at that pressure there.
Yeah.
And the organization, actually, the fighting spirit also is really helping them. It's actually one of the most dangerous team in the ADNOC Pro League. And I see more games that we will see. Ajman definitely will be one of the toughest team to beat.
So, Ajman, 2 wins out of 2 games. Same for Shabab Al Ahli, the runners-up last season. They got another win, their second win of the season, 2-0 at home to Al Dafra. Gomez and Cesar getting the goals. Fairly late, though. They were held by Al Dafra, weren't they, for a long time. It looks like a comfortable win in the end, but really Al Dafra were frustrating them for long periods of the game.
Well, they dominated most of the match. A word for Dafra, because also unlucky with the beginning of the season schedule. First facing Sharjah, now facing Shabab Al Ahli. But the results are not matching the performances. Not saying that Sharjah and Shabab Al Ahli did not deserve to win. No, they both deserve to win the matches. But Dafra played for more than just to lose. So this team of Dafra has the capacity to do much better than they did last season. Getting back to Shabab Al Ahli, yes, things at a certain point were complicated. Dafra even missed a penalty close to the halftime. It was saved by the goalkeeper in this case, Hamad Al Makbali. But Shabab Al Ahli always seemed in control, controlling the possession, knocking the ball around, creating a chance here and there, and it would be very hard for them not to win this match, because they played enough to manage to get the 3 points, which in the end came late, but they came.
But beside the winning of Shabab Al Ahli, to me, it's still not the Shabab Al Ahli that I know. I feel like they're still struggling. We know the level of Shabab Al Ahli. They really have great players in their team. And I feel like the results are, when they're winning with difficulties. And if you take, for example, Al Jazira, they're showing already strength. Al Ain, the same. Al Wasl, the same. But I didn't see yet the strength of Shabab Al Ahli. They're certainly winning, but we need more from them.
They will have a good test next week.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get on to that, absolutely. Before we do, let's look at the lineup then. Our best team that we've picked over the last week, over the 7 games of match week 2 in the ADNOC Pro League. This is what we think is the best. Melo up front with his 2 goals, of course, for Al Jazira. Salah, captain Salah, 2 goals in 2 games. Rahimi up front as well. A couple of names we haven't seen so far in the first couple of weeks. Let's pick out a few. Who jumps out for you there, Pedro?
Popula, the Al Wasl midfielder, playing as a holding midfielder. Is impressing me. I did not know the player, honestly. He's a relatively unknown player, at least for me he was, and doing a very good job there in the Al Wasl midfield. Al Wasl will also get a big test coming in, but mostly Koulibaly. I would add Koulibaly to that team because he played such a great match against Sharjah.
Ibrahim, who on there is outstanding?
Definitely Issam Faiz, but they did a great game against Wahda. He could put that balance in the midfield and through the ball possession and the confidence, the aggressivity he has in the midfield, he really helped Al Nasr. And I think all of them, Vinicius, Melo, even last season, when the Banza was not there, sometimes he was coming in and still making the difference. And he's showing again strength this season. And hopefully he can continue like that. But the way even he scored the 2 goals last week, really remarkable.
Really remarkable indeed. All right, let's look ahead now. Match week 3 of the ADNOC Pro League. We're very lucky this season. The beginning of this season, we're getting matches coming thick and fast without the usual early breaks. We've still got a good couple of rounds to go before we have our first international break. On Friday, United FC, buoyant from that first ever win in the top division. They are at home against Calba. The evening match is our match of the week. If you think Al Wasl and Shabab Al Ahli have had a fairly easy start to the season, that ends on Friday with the Dubai Derby. We will have full live coverage for you. We will be here. Amy Gillingham, of course, will be at the Zabeel Stadium. That promises to be a fantastic game this early in the season. They are the top 2 in the table as things stand. Moving forwards after Friday, on Saturday, Al Jazira, can they keep their perfect record going at home against Ajman? Kicking off at the same time, Corfacam with a brand new manager at home to Al Dafra. And then another team who would like to keep their run going, the defending champions Al Ain, are at home against a stubborn and unbeaten so far this season Al Nasr side. On Sunday, Sharjah are on the road against Hatta, both teams looking to bounce back from defeats in week 2. And it's the same story in the evening. It's the Abu Dhabi Derby. It's already a big game for both of those sides. Al Wahda at home against Bani Yas. Any of those fixtures jump out of you? We've got a Dubai Derby and an Abu Dhabi Derby to look forward to.
And Al Ain with Al Nasr. Can Al Nasr be the one to beat Al Ain's unbeaten run? But yeah, mostly the Dubai Derby due to the fact that both teams are on 6 points. And the Abu Dhabi Derby will be a tense one due to the fact that both teams have 0 points.
I will say all the games because also Jazira against Ajman, both won the first game. So
Yes.
And Ajman with the offensive line that they have, and Jazira also having the new signing and all this, it will be a very interesting game to see.
It certainly will. Okay, that's just about it then. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you to you for joining us. Big games already done and a massive one coming up. The Dubai Derby will have full live coverage on Friday night. But for now, from everybody here at Final Score, good night.